All right, guys, it's that time to discuss what I'm buying this month. And of course, there are some massive names on this list, and if prices keep going down, this list is going to expand into a lot of new names very quickly. So I'll give you all those stocks specifically today and the why behind each pick that I'm picking here. Just make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth out of the hype, because that's exactly what we're going to get today, guys. And hey, just understand, these are the stocks that I'm specifically targeting right now, okay? They are on the biggest discount based upon my valuation, which is the most important thing that you can do, is do those valuations, all right? You may have a different set of stocks that you're looking at, but make sure you're losing that valuation. Unless you're just doing a simple DCA, then simply DCA into those stocks on the same schedule, rinse and repeat, and you'll be just fine. But for me, these are the best deals based upon my plan, my portfolio, and the stocks I want to buy to make sure that I hit those goals in the end. If you aren't setting those goals, make sure, do it today. Write it down. Write down specific goals. Not, I want to be rich. That's not a goal, guys. I want to have X amount of dollars in the next 15 years, and I'm going to put X amount of money every paycheck into the stock market in order to achieve that goal. That right there is a goal. That's something defined. And then, of course, you can create a plan and the stocks around it. And then you can actually simulate it all out to kind of see, do I hit my goal or not? And then, of course, you can make adjustments accordingly. But make sure you're using those defined, written goals. Be very, very specific. The more specific you are, the better your plan can be. And of course, the better you can execute towards them in the end. That's something we teach in my group. But obviously, you can punch it right here in the search bar on YouTube. There's a lot of different ways to do it. There's no right or wrong. Just make sure you're doing some version of that. The idea that just, I want my account to be as big as possible and I want to get rich, that's where people end up just taking YOLO moves all around the place, or they end up with no real strategy. They're just simply jumping and trying to jump onto the latest hot thing. And I don't want you guys jumping into that sort of stuff at all. When you plan, have a goal, execute towards that goal. That's how you build real wealth. That's how you get to take advantage of compounding and all the other elements that make investing work in your favor, as opposed to playing a game that is rigged against you in the first place. Don't play that game, okay? First, I'll talk about stock that I want to buy. Maybe I will start buying it, but they have impressive earnings, but just didn't make the list this time around definitively. And that stock is Palantir. You guys know I love that company. I believe their earnings will continue to be ridiculous. The question is how far and how much higher can they continue to move this bar? Because every earnings, it's just like, okay, even if earnings gets cut down, it's 10%, not as good as the last time, or comes in a little bit below expectations. They're still crazy, ridiculously good earnings, but they just keep going, yeah, here, hold my beer. I'm going to crush that number, okay? How much further can that go? I have no idea. I just know that performance can slow significantly, and they're still outperforming 99% of the stocks out there in regards to growth, margins, everything else involved, clicking on all cylinders there. So it's definitely one that, hey, if Wall Street wants to keep beating this down, I'm starting to see some weird things out there in the market with Palantir, where it'll be a nice green day, market's up, everybody else in the AI play is up. Sometimes even PayPal is up, if you can believe that, but then Palantir is red. That wasn't the way it works. Just last year, you look at Palantir, and if the market was up 5%, it was guaranteed Palantir was going to be up 8%, 9% or so. It was definitely going to outpace the market. Now you're seeing the exact opposite happening, which to me, that's what I like to see. That makes me tempted in regards to, hey, you got a great company that's performing like that. Wall Street wants to disrespect it and chase a bunch of trash to the moon type stuff. Great. Palantir was a part of that prior. Obviously, we were warned against buying it back then. Took a lot of criticism and heat for that, but here we are, starting to creep back as those valuation continues to get cheaper and cheaper. Obviously, we're still a little bit overvalued here, but it's definitely much better than it was just 6 months ago or so in regards to this stock. And of course, they continue to blow it out of earnings. Could be looking at an undervalued scenario real fast. So that's one that I want to buy. Maybe I end up pulling the trigger if Wall Street gets done for this month. Who knows at this stage, but I'm not definitively putting it on the list right now. But the stocks that I am buying are the following. Let's start with number one, which is Amazon. You guys know I've been beating the drum on Amazon really for a couple of years now. Once the valuation got really cheap, it is just a great business. I don't care what they're spending on the, AI spend and everything else of that nature. So are the rest of the Magnificent Seven as well. It's just part of this CapEx cycle. They have a great business. Even if, AI turns out to be nothing, great. Amazon's still a great business. They're still a leader in crowd. They're still going to be the leader in a lot of different areas. They're moving into new areas all the time. It's just a business where they continue to pour money back into the business, and then they continue to do things on a high level overall. Right now, you're getting it at one of the cheapest valuations we've been able to get Amazon in a long time. So it's definitely one. It hasn't had its run, right? We were buying Google forever and for really 2 years, right? And then all of a sudden it went on its big run really for no reason. Nothing changed with the business. It was just magically over the course of like 2 weeks, it went from the laggard to the leader in the AI race. Whatever, Wall Street games, Wall Street stupidity. Amazon's kind of the next in the boat to kind of see that sort of run whenever Wall Street finally decides to get behind them too. When will that be? Who knows? In the meantime, I'll just continue to stack shares of a great company. So next up is Meta. Hey, I can pretty much say the same thing about Meta that I just did with Amazon. Now, the caveat to that is Meta just seems to move up and down much faster than Amazon does. Amazon tends to be a little more stable. Meta, big runs up, Zuck's the greatest, and then big runs down, Zuck doesn't know what he's doing. Just kind of the way that it works. Obviously, everybody was cheering their CapEx numbers last year. Of course, it was also hitting all-time highs. Now, magically, those same CapEx numbers, once they start executing on it, now it's a problem. Now it's the worst thing ever, and they don't know what they're doing. Again, that's traders playing trader games, narratives that don't make any sense whatsoever. That's why you just simply ignore narratives, ignore the noise, ignore everything that everybody else is saying. Use valuation as your guide, and right now you're getting Meta at really cheap prices, and more importantly, they have a great core business. Their core business is going to continue to be great into the future, and they have lots of monetization levers that they have not pulled yet that they will be able to pull in the future. That's one of the best things that they do. They put out a product, they get, billions of people using it in most cases, and then they monetize it and they simply print billions to that bottom line. And they have a couple different avenues they hadn't even really touched yet that they can get into. I think they're onto something with their Meta glasses and some other things of that nature. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it doesn't have some things that I don't like. But generally speaking, that is definitely something to where I feel like they're moving in the right direction and something that absolutely I can see people wanting in the future and that providing a massive revenue source for them. Obviously not as high margin as some of their other businesses, but whenever you have, 3 billion plus users using your products and everything else, there's only so much growth you can get out there in the world. There's only so many people in the world, that have access to internet or consistent internet and are able to do that. So for me, you want to give me Meta at a cheap valuation once again? Hey, keep beating it down. I'm going to continue to buy the stock. And the final stock that I'm buying is SoFi. I don't know what's going on, but Wall Street seems to want to keep this one down. Hey, it's easy money, guys. We warned about buying it up at 32 just last year. Like, hey, it's way ahead of itself there. Again, using valuation, just wait. They've continued to have great earnings, great guidance. And of course, the stock price went the opposite direction. That's the exact scenario you want as a long-term buy and hold investor. You want to see earnings and the fundamentals getting better while the stock price comes down, hits that undervalued, and they continue to have earnings continue to do well, and the stock price continue to trail off or just stay beaten down. That's the perfect scenario. That's what we've had with SoFi now for a good chunk of this year. And I'll continue to buy it until Wall Street decides to run it up again or play the little games or whatever the heck they're wanting to do at that stage. To me, long-term, this is going to be a beast 5 years from now. So I'm going to gobble up every share that I can. Share count is what matters in the end. That is how you build out real long-term wealth. Sure, you can trade and play all these other games, beat me in the short term, go for it. No issues whatsoever, but statistically, and more importantly, what the track record shows is long-term, just simply buying and hold and stacking shares of great companies when they're undervalued is how you build real wealth. And if you want to see my complete watch list, complete with price targets, see all my buy and sell alerts in real time, see any new stocks that jump on, or whenever I decide to jump on Palantir again, and all that other good stuff like that. I may have left something special for those of you guys down in the pinned comment where you get access to all that. You get access to our live streams. Guys, there's so much going on in the group and a lot of special things coming just strictly for members. Check it out. It's the pinned comment. See if your membership's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.